Hello everyone, this is Vane. Today I'm doing a freeze-dried pack food review. I introduced this brand once in my 2018 freeze-dried feed recommendation collection. It's a brand from New Zealand and one of the fairly long-standing brands in freeze-dried. Perhaps those who recently started pet ownership wouldn't know. It could be water, it's K9 Natural, it's a specialist brand of freeze-dried moist food. Initially, it was popular from 2017 to 2019, but due to twists and turns, imports didn't go well. Then, in September of the year 2023, imports resumed in a normal manner. Presently, for individuals who are not acquainted with the process of freeze-drying, I will provide a detailed review of K9 freeze-dried beef pack food. K9 Natural is a brand that specializes in freeze-dried moist food. It is a specialist brand located in New Zealand, renowned for its high-quality products. The origin story is somewhat unique. Jeff Bowes, the founder, initially worked diligently as a police dog trainer in the United Kingdom before starting his own venture. After working for quite a long time, Jeff took a sabbatical to Alaska to learn about the ecology and training methods of grey wolves for more efficient training. In Alaska, Jeff recognized the significance of a diet based on animals while researching the well-being of wolves and their exercise capabilities. After the war ended, Jeff, who moved to the UK, changed the children's diet to a wolf-like animal-based plus raw diet for training and noticed a significant improvement in their health. Afterwards, Jeff decided to immigrate to New Zealand, known for its excellent natural environment and abundant high-quality raw materials, to create an animal-based diet closely resembling a wolf diet. Arriving in New Zealand, the chef, who was conducting diligent research, founded K9 Natural fans by taking the slang term K9, which means military dog. That is the rationale behind K9 Natural's ingredients being genuinely meaty. To replicate the diet of a wolf, each recipe comprises a minimum of 90% meat content. Furthermore, both the meat and fish used are all certified by the New Zealand Food Safety Authority, ensuring full traceability from farm to production, and only natural pasture-raised beef, lamb, chicken, salmon, and hoki with animal welfare certification are used. All the ingredients are 100% sourced from New Zealand, in line with New Zealand's feed standards. The company has a research and development team led by Dr. Hessig to create recipes directly and owns its own freeze-drying factory in North Island, New Zealand. For more info, it is elaborated on the K9 Natural website at this location. Take a look here. Okay, now let's check out the K9 freeze-dried beef that I bought with my own money. There are 4 sizes in total: 142G, 500G, 1.8 kilograms, 3.6 kilograms options available. Sizes diverse for freeze-dried products. There are small and large sizes available. It seems convenient for both small dogs or dogs who eat freeze-dried food as their main diet. But, there's something a bit interesting. It's this beef. Among the imported feeds coming into our country, the taste of deer, lamb and beef isn't actually common. Why is that? The reason behind it is BSE, also known as mad cow disease. Only countries where this disease has not occurred are allowed to import animal-derived feed, such as deer, sheep and cattle, for the purpose of preventing its spread. The representative countries of this BSE-free zone are primarily New Zealand and Australia. Except for New Zealand and Australia, imports or customs clearance of deer, sheep and cattle are not allowed at all. So the flavors of beef, venison and lamb can only be tasted in New Zealand or Australian pet food brands. That's what makes K9 special. It has a taste of beef and lamb that other freeze-drying brands don't have. Now let's go back and take a look at the feed. I brought the 142G one with me in advance. Let's open and see what's in the 142G. When you smell it, the smell of the freeze-dried product is not overly strong, but rather subtle and not overpowering. The smell of dog food is not as strong or distinctive as expected. It has a slight biscuit smell with a beef flavor. But strangely, there is an unexpected hint of fish scent present. I don't know why that is. Anyway, there's also a chip pack for easy storage after opening. There's a chip pack as well. And the pellets are in a pallet form, a pallet. During freeze-drying, pallet forms are not very common, but this pallet form of appropriate size seems like it will dissolve well in water. Larger patty-shaped or harder pellet-shaped foods usually take a while to soak in water, but this K9 dissolves quickly in water, making it convenient to feed to children. However, as a downside, as you can see below, there is quite a bit of powder. Even though it needs to be soaked in water before eating, some pet owners don't mind, as it's convenient and produces a lot of powder due to its soft texture. Please take note. Let us have a look at the primary ingredient of K9 freeze-dried beef. The primary ingredient is beef lid. 90% beef and other ingredients 10%. Includes human-grade beef for animal care. Beef, liver, tripe, heart, blood, bones, and so on, all parts are included in the mixture. It seems that the vitamin and mineral content naturally available for consumption is high, using organ meat and bones. Next, eggs for the dough, different vegetables, superfood, kelp, and New Zealand specialty green-lipped mussel for joint health are included. Vitamin E is preserved with tocopherol. Mineral types include zinc iron, chelated manganese, and selenium, well absorbed and safely incorporated in an organic form for optimal health. Ingredients are simple. We put in what's necessary. However, caution, be mindful of the main ingredient. It's potassium bisulfate. Potassium bisulfate is a food additive composed of potassium and bisulfate. Primarily within feed, it acts as an expansion agent or acidity regulator. A similar ingredient is potassium phosphate, but this potassium sulfate is a bit more minor and challenging. Nowadays, there's a trend of using more phosphorus potassium than potassium sulfate, but K9 beef has potassium sulfate. As a side effect, excessive feeding may cause symptoms such as vomiting or diarrhea. However, K9 freeze-dried beef appears to comply with the US AFCO calorie dry matter guidelines, so it seems like only a small amount was added. Now, let's examine the nutritional composition of K9 freeze-dried beef. The suggested age range is 8 weeks and older. Protein, fat, and carbs are 35, 37, 5, making it a high-protein, high-fat recipe. With over 90% meat content, fat is higher than protein, and carbs are almost negligible. Suitable for high-energy puppy or adult with high level of activity, despite likely high-calorie content. Ki to P ratio is 1.21 to 1, slightly higher than the 1.2 to 1 ratio for TA. Meat's European PEDF standard of 2 to 1 can be consumed by large and puppy dogs. There is no reference to omega-6, solely omega-3, which is present at a concentration of 1.2%. With 90% beef, omega-C content seems high, but omega-3 at 1.2% is actually appropriate considering the 90% beef content. Since EPA and DHA are not in the ingredients, it's good to supplement with EPA and DHA after feeding it as a treat to ensure adequate intake. The sodium content is 0.6%. It is an average amount for freeze-dried products. This recipe is not low sodium, so it is not recommended for children with cardiovascular disease or those who require management. Overall, K9 beef seems suitable for active and healthy puppy adult dogs. Let's look at the calories. The total calorie count is 5,269 kilocalories. It has the highest fat content among all nutrients, so naturally, it is also high in calories. It is recommended for puppies or adult dogs with high activity levels, as feeding it to a less active dog could lead to quick weight gain. The method for calculating the recommended feeding amount is well explained on the K9 Natural website, and it can be calculated using our caregiver calculator, so give it a try. Now that we've seen everything, let's verify the checkpoints. Was there one natural caution ingredient? Failure. Over 90% of the protein and fat in animal-based sources are utilized in the second HateMit complete feed. Pass. It meets the third AFCO complete and balanced nutrition guidelines for all life stages. Pass. The fourth ingredient was clearly disclosed before each ingredient. Pass. The fifth one is a recall. K9 Natural has had no recall cases within 5 years. K9 freeze-dried beef effectively cleared 4 checkpoints. At this moment, I have conducted a thorough examination of K9 freeze-dried beef earlier in the day. K9 freeze-dried beef, a high-protein, high-fat, high-calorie beef recipe in a palatable palate form containing 90% beef, which has been well received in New Zealand. All the information provided was related to pets. We appreciate your involvement.